Excess of everything is poison. This quote is very true, and it might apply to everything that is enveloped in this universe, except that one single thing. You know what it is? Okay, I'll give you some time, you may think about it. Anyways, I'll tell you. It's garam masala. I say garam masala because it always fascinates me of how the wide array of spices when combined together can give birth to such a unique and amazing flavor. Anyways, hi everyone, my name is Shubham and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to prepare something which I'm absolutely fond of, and that is countryside chicken. And what better way to combine it with this beautiful authentic garam masala. चलो अभी गपशप बहुत हो गई बिकॉज मैं ऐसे ही अगर बोलते बैठा तो देन देर इज़ नो फुल स्टॉप टू मी टॉकिंग एंड यू लिसनिंग. सो विदाउट फर्दर ड्यू लेट्स डाइव इनटू द रेसिपी. The ingredients we'll require to prepare countryside chicken are bunch of dried red chilies, 2 tablespoons of black peppercorns, 6 to 7 cardamoms, 1 star anise, 2 dried cardamom, 1 cinnamon stick, 2 teaspoons of rice, 2 teaspoons of yellow split gram or chana dal, 10 cloves, 1 handful of black stone flower or dagad fool, half coconut, 1 teaspoon of fenugreek seeds, 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds, 2 bay leaves, half mace or javitri, 1 teaspoon of shahi jeera or cumin seeds, 2 teaspoon of khaskhas or poppy seeds, 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds or saunf, handful of dried coriander seeds. For vegetables we'll require 2 medium-sized onions, handful of coriander leaves, bunch of garlic, and last but not the least, roughly chopped ginger. Marinate the chicken in 1 tablespoon of curd, 2 teaspoon of red chili powder, and last but not the least 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. On an open flame, roast the coconut and onions respectively. The coconut pieces covering might get charred, but don't worry, that may happen because of the oil it may release due to the heat. You can easily scrape away the charred part. Focus on roasting the whiter inner part of the coconut. You can also finely cut the coconut and roast it in a pan, but that process takes a lot of time. Also ensure that the flame is set on a low heat at first and then on a medium heat at the ending. Same goes for the onions as well. Even though their covering might get charred, yet the inner part will not. So don't worry and just keep on roasting the onions as well. We'll move on forward and we'll make the authentic garam masala, for which we have to roast all the spices except the dried red chilies. So in a non-stick pan, add the spices and ensure that the flame is kept on a low heat at first. Keep on stirring everything occasionally and let it roast. After approximately 15 minutes later, they'll get roasted. You can then remove them in a plate and let it all cool down. Meanwhile, add 2 teaspoons of oil and dried red chilies in the same pan. Fry them a bit for around a few minutes and then keep them aside once done. So now we'll let all the spices cool down for a bit. In the meanwhile, what you can do is you can prepare the ginger garlic paste. So add in garlic, ginger, and last but not the least coriander in a mixer. Churn them for around 5 to 8 minutes, after which you'll get a thick paste. Remove the paste in a plate and keep it aside. In the same mixer, add in all the roasted spices including the roasted coconut and onions and churn everything until you get a very fine paste. You will notice that I haven't scraped away the charred parts of onion and coconut because that's the thing that is going to add that smokiness to the garam masala. Moving on further, in a non-stick pan, add 1 tablespoon of oil, 1 tablespoon of the ginger garlic paste and cook it for around 5 to 9 minutes. You'll notice that it turns out into a dark green color. That's when you add in the marinated chicken. Incorporate it all and thoroughly cook everything. Let the paste coat all the pieces. Once the chicken is coated well with the ginger garlic paste, cover it up with a plate. Add in 1 glass of water. The chicken should be covered completely with this plate and let the water boil. After around 10 minutes, you'll notice that the chicken would have oozed out a lot of water. That's when you incorporate the hot water of the plate as well. And once again, what you have to do is you have to cover up the chicken and add in 1 glass of water on the plate. But now you have to ensure that you leave some space so that the vapors get evaporated and the chicken stock gets reduced. Follow this same exact procedure for 1.5 hours so that your chicken gets cooked. I know it's a nightmare, but I'm sure that you can pull it off. So to prepare our authentic countryside chicken masala, what we have to do is add in around 4 tablespoons of oil in a kadai, and at the same time add in the ginger garlic paste. And what you do is ensure that the ginger garlic paste gets cooked evenly and it sort of develops a tadka in the oil. Notice that the ginger garlic paste is cooked. That's when you add 4 ladles of the garam masala. Now I know what you must be thinking, that adding 4 ladles of garam masala seems like a suicide mission, but trust me when I say that it's not too much at all. In fact, it's the exact amount which we require for the chicken to cook in it. Don't get blindfolded at all just by looking at the rich color of it, cause it's not too much spicy. Also the oil is not too much cause most of it will get utilized in cooking our masala, and once we add this to the chicken everything will get neutralized. So not to worry about anything. Now you'll notice that the garam masala has started oozing a lot of oil. That's when you add in half a bit of the chicken stock or the chicken soup. Combine the soup and the masala thoroughly, and what you do is let it cook for around 5 to 8 minutes. You'll soon notice that the gravy will start oozing out a lot of oil on the surface. That's when you pour in all the gravy, like this gravy, into the chicken, and you combine both of them thoroughly and you let them cook for further around 10 to 15 minutes more. Last but not the least, boil some water in the kadai and add the same boiled water to this chicken and let it all cook thoroughly. After around 10 to 15 minutes, you notice that the chicken will start boiling, and that's when you switch off the flame and let it all rest. Finally, after 1.5 hours, our authentic countryside chicken is ready to be relished upon. This is actually my first time that I'm preparing this dish. I was a bit skeptical because it was way too elaborate, but I'm very happy with the way it has turned out. This dish is power packed with intense flavors, and it is best served with tandrachi bhakar, that is rice flour bread, and with some lemon rice. So, if you like this recipe, please follow the drill. That is, like this video, share it with your family and friends, comment down below your views and suggestions. Do subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. I'll see you soon on the next Scrumptious Wednesday. Until then, bye, take care, be safe, much love. This close-up shot looks so amazing.